All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters at Patreon. This is a particular question that comes to me not once, not twice, not three, not four, not five, but not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, not 10 times, but more than that. Ever since the turn of the Roman year, as we head off in the spring, people are interested in relationships. They're interested in marriage. And the question is this. How do I paraphrase this? How do I do this when you have it come in so many different ways? What should I look for when I'm looking for a woman to marry? You know, if a man finds a wife, finds a good thing, obtain favor with y'all. Okay. All right. Well, I am no doubt going to step on a lot of toes. I am going to. If you go back into my archives, you'll see I've changed nothing about my speech. I'm going to be about as real as can be. I'm not going to take that long because it's almost dinner time here before I have to go to music practice. All right. First of all, number one, the problem in society of today, as well as the so-called churches and the lack of teaching on sexuality in relationships, and for some reason it seems like it's some type of taboo that people are literally afraid to actually talk about this, but yet and still is something that people can't stop doing. It's obvious that people are going to have sex one way or the other. What we're interested in is lawful sex. Now, I'm under no illusion whatsoever at all. I'm just going to put it out there like it is. The way that the Bible has it laid out according to our Israelite culture, that a woman is designed to only have one man and one man alone in her life. That's the original design. A man, he can have as many as women as he wants as long as he can provide for them. Food, clothing, conjugal rights. All right, now we got that out of the way. Let's get to reality. Reality is that we grow up in a very evil, adulterous, wicked generation where women today, and that's the reason why you see a lot of women are bold, overly bold, and they have a lot of the same nature and characteristics as men. You see, there's something going on with the woman. A woman that has had, and I want you to listen to me, because there's a lot of single sisters in the ministry who I believe that are turning into good sisters. But a woman that has had a very high body count. And when I mean a high body count, I mean a high body count. It's very, very hard for them to emotionally bond and be 100% totally committed to the man she says she loves, because there's so many different personalities that has been inserted in her. After the first one, there's a strong emotional bond. The second one, it's a strong bond, but it starts to weaken. After your third relationship, and then you start to deal with all the drama that is taking place and what has happened in the previous 2, 3, 4, or 5, and I hate to say it, really after that, 6, 7, 8, 9, the woman's emotions start to grow cold, callous, and cruel to the point that having sex with a man is going through the emotions, is going through the motions, but there is no emotion. There's no spirituality. There's nothing soulless about it. And so they don't have any trouble speaking face to face with a man. They don't have any trouble not showing any respect because they have been disrespected so much. And while all of us have desires, and women have desires too, some have had bad relationships, bad marriages, where they have been literally abused, taken advantage of, used. Not by their own merit, because maybe their parents didn't teach them, didn't have any sex education. If you try to go to the public food system and get it, it's over with. But, you know, sex has just become a free-for-all today. And women don't understand that they are a field. And anytime a man carries seed, he puts his seed in that field. He's putting strands of DNA, part of his personality, part of his makeup inside of you. I personally believe that the only one that can remove and break evil soul ties, or soul ties that has been pair bonding with other people, other men, is only Yah himself. It takes not only a physical cleansing, and purging. It takes a spiritual cleansing and purging. It takes some fasting. It takes some praying. It takes some getting sensitive to the Father. Because once a woman, if she's never had the Holy Spirit, she can get the Holy Spirit. She becomes sensitive to the Father. Her emotions start to get right back intact where they should be. And it's sad because what a generation we're in. It's also sad for the point because a man, if you're going to, I'm going to use this word and term, interview a woman for marriage, you may want to get the truth, see if you can get the truth out of her from the very beginning, because you don't want anything to come back up and surprise you later on in a relationship. And that's just the truth. It's not that, women, you need to listen to me. If a man is questioning you and he's interested in you, it's not that he wants to rehash your past. That ain't it. If he's an intelligent man like I am, what he'll do is he wants to kind of do an interview so he'll know how to better assess you and the situation going forward, to know how to better deal with it, because everybody is not involved in spiritual warfare. Everybody's not involved in how to actually get someone clean today. And so there are a lot of times that women, because their nature is so sensitive, that a man would lie to them, play on their emotions and feelings, and then next thing you know, they give themselves to them. It ain't until afterwards they find out that they made a mistake of a lifetime, and that emotion is hard to remove unless deliverance is in hand. So I think the biggest thing is the reason why we see so much emotional instability with women today is because in relationships, and I'm going to say this for both, let me say this for both male and female. It's very unfair. It's totally unfair. And if I said this once, I said it 1,000 times, and I guess I'm going to make this 1,001. It's totally unfair for you to be in a bad relationship, a previous relationship, and then bring the feelings, the emotions, the memories, and all the drama that used to be in that relationship, in this relationship, over to this one. It's totally unfair to, if you're a male, you have a female, it's totally unfair to her. If you're a female, it's totally, and you're going to a male, it's totally unfair to him. Each relationship should be judged by its own merit. I think it's a good thing, provided that you have trust for each other, is that you try to, and I'm not saying try to sit there and discover stuff about them like some evil people do and hold it over their head and stuff. That's an unrighteous person. If you get that type of detection, shouldn't say anything. Just keep it stepping, moving on, be you male or female. But I know for sure that there's a lot of emotional instability in women today simply because of the amount of sexual partners that they've had. There's a spiritual thing that goes on whenever you have sex. A very spiritual thing. And when you get to the point that it's nothing but just emotion, it's nothing but just sex, it's nothing but just a feeling, you become soulless. When you become soulless, and these are the ones you find, the women who are the most mouthy, those mouthy. I've often said it. There's a difference between a woman that's a virgin. And don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that a virgin is not mouthy either, because they have to learn. Because when they get married, they got a whole new dynamic of order and ways that they're going to be learning about themselves, that the man is going to have to actually teach them, and the man's going to be teaching himself as you go. She's still a woman. You're still a man. But the grand design is that a woman is only designed to be a one man at one time, and that's it, period, point blank. But a man can have multiple women, period. It makes no difference whether people like it or not. It's totally different that many people have been deceived by this European construct. A man, just like a woman, she can easily have love for the first child, second child, third child, fourth child, easily, providing she's a good woman. And she can love them all the same. A good man can love the first wife, second wife, third wife, fourth wife, if I can use that and be pure, and still love them all the same way that a woman can love a child. And that's the only way that she'll be able to see how a man can love another woman. If she tries to compare it the way that a woman sees things, she's going to have trouble. And I think it's an insult to the Father when women start attacking his order of things simply because we have been in captivity in this European culture. And we don't care about what our Bible says. We care about our feelings and emotions over it. So the first thing you need to do is actually do a good vetting and see about, what about time, any partners and stuff, and then learning how to deal with that woman. Because when people are truly born again, come on, Mary Magdalene was born again. I mean, she got there. Rahab the harlot, she made it to the faith book. She in the kingdom. So it's not like it's something that's a hope without cause, but the biggest thing is can she feel? Can she still have emotions? Can she, of the right things and not the wrong things? Because when she becomes soulless, she can flip a script on you in a heartbeat. And man, are you really truly a man? Can you really truly take care of a woman? Do you know when to correct, reprove, rebuke, love, cherish, counsel, spend time? A lot of times you just need to sit and listen to them and become a good listener. Because our construct is built totally different and their construct is built totally different. And the ideal is to become a successful one unit. So I say, well, how can it be one unit when a man may have a second or third or fourth wife? It's simple. They can easily become one unit because each individual agreement is its own separate contract. The woman still has one man, period, point blank. And I understand that wisdom may be too high for fools or something, but anyway, I gave you one of the telltale signs you need to look for. And if they're really, really young, check and see if they have any maturity whatsoever at all, because after all, it ain't going to be too long. A few years later, you're going to end up having children. And do you want an immature woman or an immature man to be raising your children? I think not. That's the truth. That's the true straight way. See y'all tonight on Blog Talk Radio.